Okay.
Hello, Carol Taylor-Kearney here at Powell Arts, and I am sitting amongst this beautiful, wonderful artwork by Francis Beaty, and you'll see that there's two pieces on either end that are actually part of a triptych and a wonderful centerpiece that could be the centerpiece of your home. So I am going to let Francis tell us a little bit about these.
Well, thank you very much. And again, I am thrilled to be showing here at Powell Arts. You are the best crew, the best people to deal with. You're so welcoming, but also understanding. And it continues my creative journey. I just am blessed to be in this group right now.
Thanks, Francis.
So this has been a happy time for me. So segue, a happy time for me was working and making these pieces that you see on the wall. As you see, they're in plexiglass boxes, and they are sculptures made out of khadi paper, which is a handmade paper. And I created these when I was in a residency in Ille-Sur-Tete, France, about 2 years ago. And I typically, when you go traveling to residencies, you cannot take a lot of material.
Yeah.
So all I took was paper and black markers. And I thought, well, what am I going to do? So there we are, a couple days into the residency. I'm going to give you the short version of this. I took these sheets of paper, 12 by 12 sheets of paper, and I was going for a little swim in their saltwater pool. And I put some of the paper in the pool. I don't know what possessed me to do that. I did. And then I came out from a little swim. I took the paper and I pressed these up onto the stone wall that surrounds their property. It's a medieval town, very historical. And what I realized that they would stay firm. They became sculpture themselves. So each one of these with the striations and the folds is carrying the pattern that was in the stones. And I ended up doing a whole series of those and I just numbered them because I felt like I was able to bring back part of Ille-Sur-Tete with me, their foundation, these walls from this medieval city. And I highlighted them with black marker and of course put these in plexiglass boxes to make them feel like they're a true specimen from like an artifact from history.
I love that.
So I wanted to preserve them because they are history. Then moving along, this centerpiece is very different as you can see, and this is called The Struggle is Real. And this piece was created after the residency when we had COVID. And honestly, I thought, let me see if I can make something beautiful like the two originals, but I could not. And they didn't really form the same way. You may not know that, but I know it, having been the artist. But as I was struggling with them, thinking, oh, they took on a new life, and I added the bolts to signify the pain and the struggle that I was feeling during COVID, that I thought, oh, I can just make more of these. But it wasn't the same feeling, but it also became an expression of emotionally how I was dealing at that time. I was stuck in, I didn't even want to go to my studio, so I was doing these in my house, making these wet pieces, and they weren't turning out or anything, and I was very upset. And that's when I put these bolts through it, and then I took it to the studio one day and just let it dry. So to me, it's another capturing of history, my history with COVID. It started with something beautiful in France and ended up with just me creating this. So again, my work.
Well, and also it almost makes like a blossom, and it's almost like from the struggle is this thing that's blossoming, which is so true about art generally.
And I was thinking about creative destruction and destructive creation.
Yes, and that's what was going on here, but it's all subconscious with me. It's all play, as you well know. I play, and a lot of it is happy accident. I'm the first to admit.
Well, and you're a very intuitive person, and I think that one of the things that's interesting is you look to capture a moment or a feeling.
Right.
And a lot of times when people think about capturing things, they think about the ways that we report on capturing things, photographs, write it down. Whereas you're trying to take some of the essence and then share it through your work, which I think is really interesting and leads to interesting outcomes. I say that the two of you, I just told your husband this, and I think the two of you are similar as artists because both of you are like, I have this vision that I need to make happen, and we'll work out how it displays afterwards.
Right.
But the thing is it's some happy accident, but it's also that there is a thoughtfulness and sensitivity there that once you figure out how to display it in a way that people can engage with it,
Mhm.
it really comes through.
Right. And also that just the simple materials. I'm very fond of just simple materials and contrasting too. You know, hard and soft. You see the pain, you see these bolts, and you ask me, well, where do you get these bolts? Like, why?
Yeah.
And I like find them and I buy them at Home Depot and then I hold on to them for that moment when I needed to get that emotion.
This is like the 9th time I've said this, but artists are hoarders. The only difference is that you guys will then use the work, which makes you not hoarders, but creatives with vision, visionaries.
I love that.
That's the only difference.
Unfortunately, we have maybe sometimes a little too much junk and we have to sort through
Yes,
it
true.
to find the thing that we want.
True.
But you know what? When you sort, you find something new.
Yes, totally. And that's what I did find. Many artists found that COVID pushed them in a new direction.
Yeah.
I moved into a new vein. And so this was a very productive period for me, in spite of what we all lived through.
Right, in spite of the pain and the frustration.
suffering. So it is, the struggle is real, the pain and suffering. It is another historical piece. So now I was happy that you two accepted these pieces because I said, these are history pieces that I didn't even realize I was creating.
But I love that about almost all the work, like the piece that we had just finished showing, and these pieces, you literally take parts of the environment, particles from the environment, and let that become part of the piece and part of its materiality, and then part of its history and part of its story.
Yeah, it's a very like organic experience that like you say it's play and intuitive, but it's also like what's interesting is the way that I think this is something very specific about you, the way that you're able to go and allow your work to interact with its physical environs. Like you have right now, you should follow Frances on Instagram. She is always showing the construction of her materials, and you had that beautiful blue piece that you spray painted that was in the tree and all around, and it like
that was art in the open.
Yes, and it melds perfectly with. You're very in tune with what's going on, and I think that takes a beautiful understanding of what's going on in the larger world.
Oh, thank you.
So
thank you.
I hope that I said that correctly.
That was lovely. Thank you. But yes, that was with Art in the Open with CFA, Center for the Emerging Visual Artists, a group, and that piece will be in their indoor exhibition through June and July, I believe. So,
nice.
So you'll be able to see it down in Philadelphia indoors.
You also need to go online and look up Frances Beaty and say, see the sculpture or something, or blue.
I'll try to put a link to it, like if I can in the notes. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you follow her, you get to see as she makes these things, and then you see the whole thing, and it's like, wow. and a lot of times when you look at something like this, I would have loved to have seen every step of this process.
Yeah, people tell me I should start videoing myself when I do that. I don't know if that's going to work.
You become self-conscious.
Yeah, I don't think that it's but you're right. It's a lot of little pieces coming together to make one, and that seems to be my mojo, or whatever you call it. But the same thing with this screening. I called each one of those elements a pod. So each one of these are kind of like their own pod. Yeah. And I'm very happy that these are being in a show. Let me tell you.
We're so excited about it.
Thank you, ladies.
We told you that we thought about just taking one, and we were like, but they speak so strongly to each other. We got to take all three. So we knew we were taking The Struggle Is Real immediately, and then we were like, well, these are kind of similar. We were like, nope, they work too strongly together. We're taking all three.
Great. Yeah.
Great. So you have to come see these, not just because they need to be seen in person, but also because we've kept one of them secret. So
true.
Yeah, the only way you'll get to see it is to come into Powell Arts.
Right.
How dare you think you can get everything online?
No, you need to see the real deal.
That's
Me
right.
too. And the thing is, and not only that, and I hope you'll allow people to do this, you have to just touch it. I mean,
touch it gently, but touch it.
You know, you need to know that you could get pierced and get hurt, but at the same time, it's such a fragile and lightweight piece from here, and then you see those harsh metals with the edges and the points.
And I will
Did
say,
you think about that as you, you know?
wait, I want to make one point about the touching of it, which is if you touch it gently and with respect, you will not get hurt. But if you are disrespectful, you will get hurt.
You could, and you know, there would be some galleries that would not want that bolt up there. So, but you know, to me, it
We love
was
it.
a necessary piece.
Oh, yeah, no.
I didn't want it to look like this adorable little pretty flower. I wanted to capture what else happens in real struggle of life.
Well, it reminds me somewhat of a cloud
Mhm.
and a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
You know, so you're going to have that shock.
Yeah.
You know.
You got it because it's kind of
Brace
going
and
through
shock.
the piece. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's something nicely elemental about it.
Mhm.
But also, it's like studding or jeweling things as well because it provides a nice sparkle too.
Yes. Oh yeah, I do
So.
love things that kind of have little. I had that one teacher. She always said the spice of lemon, slice of lemon. You know, you might
Yeah.
have a piece of fish, but that slice of lemon on there just makes that fish look so
It
much
makes
better.
Yeah, and it makes it
Same thing
sing.
for this. You need
Yeah.
to do that slice of lemon.
Okay,
So.
but I'm going to ask you from the standpoint of the audience. If they buy this, what room, like you told us all about how you had the green piece in the bathroom
Right.
in order to get that patina.
Right.
And then
This
you
is
can
not
put-
a bathroom work.
Probably not a bathroom or a kitchen. I'm going to say it's possible that it could be probably sprayed with a little bit of a sealant, but I would certainly experiment at my studio before if someone.
But it also that
Right.
would do weird things with the
I
texture.
probably
which-
wouldn't, but I would say in someone's living room or their office, I could see this in an office space where there's a lot of other paper.
That I was going to say
products like
that's
that.
interesting because you're using paper innovatively, and they use.
Yeah.
They say that everything's gone digital, but that's a lie.
I'd say a home office or a commercial building or
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I could see it above a fireplace even, you know, it
as
as
a
a
focal point.
point.
I could see it in a book room amongst other papers.
True.
So
It doesn't have to be with paper, but I think it would be very happy.
yeah, that way it feels like it's surrounded by friends.
Yes.
So you
I
never
also
win.
like the idea that, you know, we're showing it on a white wall because we're a gallery and that's what we do. But I also could see it with,
Dramatic.
yeah,
With a backdrop of a color or a black.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would definitely pop and
Yeah.
then really pop off the wall. So
Yes.
if someone does have a focal wall, it would really be dynamic on there.
Yeah.
Any color.
So designers.
Yeah.
We got you.
We got you.
So please come see Francis' beautiful pieces at the Paperwork Show for Powell Arts from June 2nd
You did it.
to August 7th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.